And by the way, I did show that clip of that Wire sent me to Ken, and no, he does not condone it at all either. So when Wire says we got Ken on this show, we should probably get him on the call if he's available.
No,
No, we spoke
no.
to Ken yesterday, and
Hmm.
he's going through lots of things. Jesus, what an
What the
awful,
fuck?
what
Yeah.
an
What
awful
the heck was
time to
that?
put that on. Things, and he might be away for some time. So
Mm.
best of luck to him, man. He's a good
I
guy.
know
He's
I
a
know
cool
he
guy.
asked for prayer. I know he's asked for prayers for his mom because she's not feeling well. So he sent
Yeah,
mine
man.
on Twitter there.
Yeah, you know what? Like,
Got it to you, Ken. Hope your mom's doing pretty good there.
yeah,
And
man. It
Is
sucks.
Ark here?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good. Glad to hear. Glad to hear it, dude.
I'm actually here right now. What's up? What do you want, Dr. Earl? This is Arknolia, yeah. So let's get down to business. Let's talk about the nitty and gritty. The pigeons of California, right? I think they were a great
Pigeons or
band.
what?
The pigeons of the
Pigeons
Great
what?
Parts of Pennsylvania. They were a great band. They were really good with the guitar and the piano. They were a good band. Yeah.
Keep it you high, dude.
Arknolia.
What was that?
Jacob RP. My
What's up,
favorite,
Earl?
my favorite co-host in the community is Jacob RP right now. So,
Wow, okay, fuck you, you fucking
What's up,
scumbag.
Dr. Earl?
What's up,
Pearl?
Jacob? What's going on,
you're
dude?
some people were sending me clips. You flip flopped and joined Dave Rose's team over there, didn't you? all about
Hello? I actually put you
Not
over.
really. I was listening to that earlier. He called in with his issues with Tony there.
Yeah, that was it. He was just asking me what was the deal with me and Tony and what happened.
Nah, like they were saying like something about why did
but
I
I
do my
put you over. I
stream
put
or-
you over.
Well, like the someone comes in on those stream yards and they put porn on there, but they'll show like today they literally showed SC Steve on video like when he was on Sean's View. And
I remember
so
that. Yeah.
at first, when you click on it, you think it's that, but then boom, it's like black porn. So that happened today. I took the stream away.
I
And
know.
then
it's
the
like,
second stream, stream, we went back on StreamYard. SC, you kept poking the bear. You try to keep talking shit about Rose, and I wasn't going to have it. And I ended the stream. Says, I don't want to, we're doing our own thing. He does his own thing. And that's that. And I really don't know an explanation on why I end a stream. Number one. Number two, well, it's the porn trolls and SC with his big mouth. So that's
I want to give
that.
a big shout out to the
Thank
chat.
you.
I want to send a hello to Tiff. How you doing, Tiff?
what up, Tippy girl?
This beast incarnate, Ronald Booth, whatever. Hello, hi. How you
Jacob
doing?
RP is the best in the community right now. Honestly, he's like the new C-Man. He's a new C-Man, bro.
All that's missing is for me to go live and talk shit.
He's mean, bro.
That's all that's missing. Me going live and embarrassing myself.
Dude, what is he saying?
Let's see what's up with you. What do you have to add?
Your mother.
Come on.
Oh shit.
Be professional. Come on.
That's how he is. That's how he's professional.
Thank you, Earl.
Earl, Pearl, Curl, what's up?
No, so
Yeah, right.
Jacob, any last words, bro? We're about to start the rock show right now, dude.
What?
Yeah, thank you for calling in, dude. Have a good night, man. Thank you.
Free for all. Come on.
Have a good night, brother. Thank you.
Fucking rock and rolls.
Well,
Yes, sir. Thank you.
What
Thank
about
you, sir.
hip hop? What about hip hop?
we could discuss
no,
hip hop there. 'Cause
No, Arknolia, no. Any last words, brother?
No, that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And hello to
calling.
Perfect. Hello,
All
bye.
right, you can leave now. Thank you.
All right, bye.
And then there goes Jacob.
There you go. That's a lot better.
What are you doing?
Now let's go back to the
Why
drama.
running off fucking co-host?
Wait, I didn't kick him out, dude. It's not my fault.
All right. Watch.
I didn't kick him out. Stop saying that.
Right.
Did he really leave the call, dude?
I believe so.
Stream.
Yeah, you. I guess you let him. You let him go, man.
He ended the stream.
We're still going on mine.
Let's just go on yours. I mean, fuck it.
Right. All right.
That's a
How
big
about
fuck.
my area, people?
Jesus Christ, dude.
All right. So what's happening, Ark? Everything good?
Yeah.
That's good to hear. There, I got your message, and I guess it's a free for all discussion there. I guess we're going to have. I guess so it's probably music, whatever comes to mind here. Other things as well, whether it's pro wrestling or whatever comes to mind here. I guess here. A
Well,
little break
music,
from the youth. Yeah, I mean, but then again, yeah. Well, so I know YR talked about this stadium tour with Motley Crue, Poison, Def Leppard, Joan Jett, and the Blackhearts there. I guess it's going to start tomorrow in Atlanta, GA there, if I'm correct.
we could talk about concerts we've been to.
What have you been into? I couldn't hear. My bad.
We could talk about concerts we've been to.
All right, there. And I guess Keith left as well. I guess he'll be back with you. Both SC and then YR. And then Keith just dropped out of the picture here. Okay, so...
Boy, that was a free-for-all.
And it was for a while there. Well, the first concert I actually been to was with my dad. He wanted to... Mom and Dad. It was at Pine Knob Music Theater. It was Olivia Newton-John. And this is around early 1982. You know, this is when a year after that song Physical came out, it became a tremendous big hit there. You know, she was hot. She had that TV special showing all the videos related to that album called Physical. And I guess it was a pretty good show, I admit there. And I was at the nearby record store not too long ago. I think it was yesterday, and I saw the album Physical remastered and reissued on vinyl under a different label. I guess last year was the 40th anniversary of that album, if I'm correct.
Yeah, Olivia Newton-John's kind of a guilty pleasure for me. I do like her music.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, she's still got that good voice, you know, and you also got to give her credit for being a breast cancer survivor.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, didn't she have something? And
yeah, I
just
remember
answered
she
that
had.
question.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Around 1992, it was revealed that apparently it was her husband at the time and her found a big lump under one of her boobies there, and they got it tested out. And sure enough, it was breast cancer. So, and it was around the same time a compilation of her greatest hits came out called Back to Basics. So, I guess she was a spotlight of that crusade for a while there.
I already told you about my first concert, if you remember, in 1969.
Yeah, I think it was at Texas Festival, I think it was, if I'm correct.
No, I was
probably,
at college. I was in college and I went and saw Harper's Bazaar.
The band Harper's Bazaar, not the magazine there.
No.
All right.
They had a hit of a cover of Simon and Garfunkel's 59th Street Bridge song, "Feeling Groovy."
I see there. I know. My second concert was at the Joe Louis Arena. My dad took me there as well there. It was to see Triumph, the Canadian trio there. They had this great album called Never Surrender that was all over the charts and the radio. Foghat was their opening act there.
Wow.
And and Triumph has been known to mix a little bit of Star Wars into their stage set along with their music there at times. At one point, their bass player, Mike Levine, called it the rock and roll machine goes Star Wars. But he did express something about, a band should be appreciated for their musical talents, not just for their stage shows there. but Triumph did good. Give out a good damn performance. I know that. And I guess he did some reunion shows I think a year or two ago at some Swedish rock festival, if I'm correct. I got to go look it up there, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I know the band called it quits, I think, around 1987 there, or 88.
Yeah, now I'm not going to do mine in order because I don't honestly remember what order I saw them in.
You probably saw a lot more shows than I have. I know. I'm thinking that as well there.
Oh, I've seen a lot of shows.
Yeah,
Let's
true
see.
there.
I've seen Paul McCartney twice.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, you mentioned that.
Saw him in San Antonio and up here where I am.
Near the Fort Worth area, I'm thinking, right?
Yeah.
Ah, nice.
He was actually at Texas Stadium in Arlington, and I went and saw that.
Ah, nice. I bet the place was packed.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, because obviously this is a man who was a part of a band that influenced everything in music there.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember when Paul McCartney started his tour, I think it was around 1990, and I heard the managers talking about that song, and they talk about that show. It was at the Palace at Auburn Hills. I asked, well, how was the show there? He said it was packed. Absolutely fucking packed. Which is no surprise. Like I said, no surprise there.
Yeah, one of the big things he did was when he did Live and Let Die, he shot off fireworks in that song.
Oh, yeah, no surprise there, man.
Yeah, you can see a live version of that song on YouTube and see what it's like.
Right there. So I don't know. I guess probably the other guys wanted to do some drama there on their channel there. I guess YR. I don't know if YR. I understand YR ended his show for some reason. I don't know, but I'm going to probably check and see if it's back up there. I don't know what is going on. Have to check there. Give it a couple minutes there. But I guess I remember the second concert I saw. I guess it was in 1983 at the Cobo Arena. It was Black Sabbath and Quiet Riot performing there. It was in December of that year. Born Again by Black Sabbath was already out on shelves, and I was enjoying the hell out of that album. I always talked about how great that album was.
Yeah, I saw him in, I think it was 1999. It was a reunion when they did Ozzy
with Ozzy, Bill Ward.
Yeah, and Pantera opened for them.
Oh, yeah.
And so did Incubus, but I missed Incubus because we were running late.
I see there. Well, of course, Pantera is no surprise because of the simple fact that they were influenced. They were influenced by Black Sabbath. I meant to say there.
Yeah.
And and plus, let's not forget their cover of Planet Caravan that closes out Far Beyond Driven.
Yeah.
That was a big hit on the radio there around 1994. I remember seeing the video for it, and it was a pretty good video there. It had a lot of computer graphics. If you ever check it out, feel free to.
Yeah, they had what do they call the screen that's above the band?
Yes, one of those stage screens, I think it's called. I would say Concert Titantron because I know the WWE and often uses that when it comes to Raw and SmackDown.
And of course, they had a delightful time going through the crowd for girls raising their tops.
Oh yeah, they did that back in Guns N' Roses and Metallica back in 1992 there. In fact, I remember one time when me and an old employee at the restaurant I worked at in Richmond, Michigan, we went and saw the Ozfest in 2007 when it was free, and there was a whole bunch of guys all together there looking at all the girls yelling out the words titties, 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 because they were getting all the girls to show their tits, and hardly any of them ever did, if I remember there. So,
yeah, it was almost like Mardi Gras, I suppose.
Exactly. All you was missing was the bees being handed to them.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. most of the other concerts I remember seeing soon afterwards, had to be, of course, at the Ritz in Roseville a lot of times, or at Harpo's concert theaters back at D-Town there. I remember seeing Iron Maiden twice, back in the 80s. One was with my best friend Dennis, shout out to him. And the other with my dad, once again,
Mm.
when they played the Pine Knot Music Theater back in '85 there. People were so good. I remember seeing Van Halen back in early 1984. It was their last tour with David Lee Roth before his departure a year later there.
Yeah, I never got to see them.
Oh, yeah. And the funny thing about that story, about that show, was that my next door neighbor got these tickets for me and my dad way up on top.
Huh.
Way up on top there, right to the very end there. Massive nosebleed seats there. And I was like pissed off, but I tried so hard to get these tickets, blah blah. But still, it was not the right thing to do because a lot of ways when we think about it, we kind of got jerked around a bit when that happened,
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, one of the guys had to leave because apparently that height was a little too much for them. A couple asked is your dad a narc or a police officer there? I said, no, there's no issue. He doesn't carry a badge at all because people kind of wonder if an old man at a rock concert, they think if he has a badge or he's undercover or whichever
Right.
there. Yeah, so that, it was a good show, I will say there, but it would have been better if I was able to hear a lot more properly and see it a lot more better.
Yeah, yeah. And I got to see Kansas, which was cool.
Yeah, was it with Steve Walsh, I guess?
Yeah, he had come back. This was
All right.
upon his return.
Oh, yeah. I guess the one thing I remember when he came back was when they released that album Power.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it must have been around the 80s, if I'm correct there.
yeah. And ironically, they covered a lot of their old material.
Oh, yeah, because the old material needs to be... Because a lot of people at the time in the 80s were only focusing on either Point of No Return or, of course, Dust in the Wind. But they were forgetting about, like, Song for America, People of the South Wind. So they were really... a lot of that stuff where they were getting that out to the people of that period there, which was, of course, the 1980s.
Right, right. And I've seen Yes twice.
Mm.
I saw them on their Masterpiece tour where they did nothing but the long songs.
Oh, yeah, wow.
I mean-
All the songs that last about 20 minutes long and plus.
Yeah, they did Close to the Edge, of course.
Oh, yeah, you
And
got to
You
do it.
and
You
I.
can't. Yep.
And
It's like
one
nowadays
of the
you
sides from Tales from Topographic Oceans, but I couldn't tell you which one it was.
Oh, wow. But it is a trip to listen to when you if you go experience that show for the first time there.
Yeah, yeah, it is. And the first time I saw them, it was a more conventional type concert. They played more of the stuff, the short and the long.
All right. All right there. Wow. So I don't know what happened. I'm going to try and see if we could get our YR back on the call here. See what's going on there.
Yeah, ask him why he ditched us.
All right there.
And I
Right,
also have seen the Moody Blues twice.
Yeah. Nice.
Once with an orchestra and once without.
All right. Excuse me there. I think the orchestra. Hold on a second there. I think the orchestra was there to make up for all the mellotrons and other keyboards there that was done by the keyboard player at that time. I think Patrick Morantz was their keyboard player for the time being.
I believe so, yeah. This would
Yeah,
have been,
'cause
after the Seventh Sojourn. In fact, it was
Yeah.
one of them they opened with Step in the Slide Zone from Octave.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Arcta, by the way, it was a 1978 album that they put it out
Yeah.
in that year there. And then afterwards, we would get Long Distance Voyager. And that's when Patrick Moran's became the new keyboard player there.
But the orchestra one concentrated mainly from the uh, Core 7.
Mm-hmm.
They even did Legend of a Mind.
Oh, yeah, the Timothy Leary song about him there.
Yeah, which I thought was interesting.
Well, yeah. Going back to the two Iron Maiden shows that I saw with both my best friend and later on my dad for the second one there, when we got to the Jolos Arena, they had all these security guards grabbing all our. I had a studded bracelet, I had a studded belt, and they just, the security just took them all. They confiscated that, and they also did it with my friend as well there. And we was like, wow, that's a very fucking dick move that they did to us, so for no reason. But I think it was required that they do that because of fights breaking out possibly during the shows.
Okay, that makes a little sense, I suppose.
And you got to remember, stud bracelets can be used as a weapon, like a brass knuckles.
Right.
I remember seeing a photo in the magazine of all the confiscated studs, leather studded belts, bracelets, necklaces, and everything else that were during the Kiss show. And this was the Kiss without the makeup, by the way, during that period there.
I actually saw Kiss during their farewell concert tour.
Yeah. Right there.
And they toured with Ted Nugent, so I got to see him
Oh,
too.
yeah. That's nice there.
The cool thing he did that I liked was at the end of his bit, he hit a chord and strung a guitar on a rope and hauled it up. Then he went and got a flaming bow and arrow and shot it.
Oh, yeah. I think that's one of his signature moves that he often does on stage at times, him being the hunter activist that he is. I remember there was one time, when he caused a lot of controversy back around 1990 when he was a guest morning host on the local rock station there. He said some derogatory shit about these animal rights activists, calling them, saying they commit bestiality and such, claiming that most of the profits from their benefits go directly to their pockets there. And I guess there was a talk show that aired on Sunday evenings, late Sunday evenings, called Night Call. And one of the ladies who worked at the Michigan Humane Society, was not really happy with what Ted Nugent said there. But of course, you got to remember, hunters don't like it when their art, their main profession, is being attacked. It's like if you attack a pro wrestler, saying that what they're doing is fake. They're going to get upset. They're going to get angry, and they'll possibly maybe smack you around the head like David Schultz did to John Stossel years back.
Yeah, I mean, it may be fake, but it still hurts.
Yeah, exactly. You're landing on your back. Now, you also got to keep in mind that one of the big reasons why sometimes hunters hunt is to provide for their families.
Right.
I mean, because I remember hearing a few times that meat in supermarkets had often been tampered with in the past there. And sometimes the meat is past its due, and people who worked out those departments are too damn lazy to even take notice.
Yeah.
And of course, now back to the Iron Maiden one, which my dad saw the second time I saw him in '85 there. It was later on, it was a couple months before Live After Death would come out, their live release. That was much hyped at the time there. My dad enjoyed the show. He said he loved the Eddie Creature, Eddie mascot coming out from behind the stage during the song Iron Maiden. Look up Live After Death World Slavery Tour 1985 at the Long Beach Arena in L.A., and you see what I'm talking about, the whole show there, the whole set list there that they did here in the States there. And he also, and my dad loved it. I thought he was going to be pissed off when they did the song "The Number of the Beast," but eventually he didn't. He said it was a great show.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was. So
Yeah.
that's good to hear there.
And, oh, kind of early on, I saw Heart. And of all
Was
places, Six Flags.
Oh, wow. This must have been in the later 1990s, I think it was,
Oh, it was earlier than
or the
that.
2000s. Oh, yeah, not 80s, I think it must have been.
70s, 80s, somewhere in that range.
Oh, wow. I see there. That's when they were really, well, a lot of bands were they really started to get noticed would play the venues and places like that a lot of times there.
Right.
Festivals here and there.
Well,
And this
somewhere
must have
down the
been when,
line, Six Flags quit putting on concerts. I don't know why.
oh, really? There, I didn't
Yeah.
know Six Flags put on concerts in general there, because to me it's a mostly an amusement park there.
Well, yeah. But they had to have something to draw people in, I suppose. A lot of
I
people at that
guess, yeah,
concert.
yeah, oh, yeah. Well, again, the rock and roll was big at that time. People were packing arenas and stadiums and stuff like that there.
Right.
So it was a good thing. Yeah, it was a good time, and plus, concert prices were low at that time, about $10, $15 or less at the time. Whereas
I don't remember for sure, but I think this one cost admission to the park plus a little bit, but I don't remember how much.
probably a little bit extra at that time
Yeah.
there.
And you got a special ticket if you want to go to the concert.
Yeah, yeah, kind of like a wristband if you want to go there nowadays. There,
Yeah.
something of that sort there. Now, I didn't really. I remember seeing David Gilmour at Pink Floyd a year earlier at, of course, Pine Knob with my dad. Of course, he was my main source of getting me to shows there at that time, because I didn't get a car until about officially 1987 there. So, obviously, when we saw David Gilmour, it was a pretty damn good show. Now, the opening act, the Icicle Works, who had this song called "Whisper to a Scream," which was receiving some airplay at the time, they were not there for some dumb reason. So they got this comedian out of the blue
Hmm.
to fill in the spot, and no matter how he was trying to make everybody laugh, no matter how hard he was trying, people were trying to boo him off the show, trying to tell him to boo, boo, and it got to the point that said, "Okay, let me hear you boo for this side. Okay, let me hear you for this side. Let me hear you for that side there." Oh God, it was a fuck up and a half. Whoever did build this guy in, because he was not funny as fuck. So David Gilmour comes on. It's a damn good show. It was a great performance there. And of course, I was talking, me and my mom was asking how the show was. I said he was this man is a talented, good guitar player. He is.
Right.
And I was absolutely there. There were a lot of, and I remember seeing a lot of punk rockers, at that time with the Wish You Were Here logo with the mechanical hands, shaking hands there on the back of their leather vests. It's sad, and what's kind of funny is that Roger Waters was also on tour, and he had his album, The Pros and Cons of Hitchhiking, out at that same time there. And of course, his set list was traditional, 2 sets on one night. They would do most of his stuff there, Pink Floyd stuff there, and then the second set would be the entire Pros and Cons album in its entirety.
Hmm.
And of course, he had Eric Clapton on as his special guest guitar player, because Clapton did a lot of guitar licks and chords on that album.
Pink Floyd is the one band that I never got to see that I definitely wanted to see.
I couldn't agree more. Like I said many times, I wanted to check out. I would love to travel back in a TARDIS to check out Pink Floyd performing the original Wall performances back in 1980, 81 there to see for myself.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I would have loved to check out Roger Waters' performance at the Wall back in 2010 when they were celebrating the 30th anniversary of that album there. maybe the 30. I think it's 30. I think it was 40th anniversary. I think it was. I think it was that there. It's been so long there.
Yeah, I've got a fairly lengthy list of artists I wanted to see that I never got to see.
Oh man, there was a few myself there. Zeppelin, Sabbath with Ozzy. I wanted to check out, as we mentioned, Pink Floyd. Queen. But at the time when all that stuff with all those bands were touring in the 1970s, I was still a wee little kid, and my mom and dad was like, "No, we're not going to go see no rock bands. You want to get involved with those people out there? They're all freaks. They're all alcoholics. They're all drug addicts. Blah blah blah." That was the typical spectrum of the parents at that time to think of things like that.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen Emerson, Lake and Palmer. I would have liked to have seen Deep Purple.
Oh yeah.
Never got to see either one of those bands. I did get to see Eric Clapton.
Ah, nice.
So that was cool. And The Who.
Oh yeah.
That was after Keith Moon was obviously gone.
So must have been when Kenny Jones was their drummer at that time.
Yeah. Yeah, and they did Baba O'Reilly live, which was cool.
Yeah, it's good there. I guess the Who now they made a return to Cincinnati to put some of the stadium performance, and I guess it was their first time in Cincinnati since 1979 when when those 11 people perish being trampled to death when the doors open.
Right.
Yeah, which was a
the
pretty
festival
good
seating.
Yeah, absolutely. First come, first serve, which is since that have been banned as a result.
Yeah. And I've seen Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young.
Oh, nice.
One of the times that Young kind of stepped back in. And ironically, the coolest song they did was Neil Young played After the Gold Rush, and he did it on a keyboard organ type thing. And man, I wished I had a copy of that song, because man, it was awesome the way he did it.
Most likely it'd probably be a bootleg, I guess it would have it on there. Most likely it'd probably be on YouTube. Oh yeah. I'm still trying to see if there's bootleg performances of the shows I saw. There was one bootleg show I discovered a couple of years back of the Skinny Puppy show I did at the Latin Quarter back in November of 1990.
Right.
I saw that band many times there. I was a big fan of them. I still am to this day. Saw them first in 1988 at St. Andrews Hall. Saw them again at Latin Quarter, as I mentioned. Saw them again at the State Theater in all these in Detroit, by the way, in 1992. And that was about it for how many years. Finally saw them again in 2009 with a couple buddies at the Royal Oak Music Theater. And I saw them again not too long ago, back in 2015 when they played the Warehouse Live in downtown Houston there. Many good memories of Skinny Puppy shows because I would say hi to Ogre and Kevin Key, Nivek Ogre, their front man. In fact, it was a great time at the Houston show because he remembered me from the days when I would say hi to him in Detroit there. It was like, he said I looked good, man, because I moved from a crappy ass state to a better state there, and I was eating well, doing good, got a good job and everything else there. So it's pretty damn, it's good to hear that he remembers me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I also saw. Go ahead.
I remember. Sorry to render. I remember seeing Ogre many times when he was on tours with other groups like KMFDM and the band Pigface featuring Martin Atkins, the ex-drummer of Public Image Limited. No, excuse me. Yeah, Public Image Limited and Killing Joke.
I also saw Crosby, Stills, and Nash without Young with Chicago.
All right, there. I see there.
And Chicago played the entire ballet for a girl in Buchanan, the long thing, which was cool. And Crosby, Stills, Nash did something I don't believe I've ever seen a band do. They started a song, got maybe a minute into it, and then they did hold it. We're gonna start over again because we've really screwing this song up. And they started over again, played it again.
I see there. All right.
I'd never seen a band do that.
Right there. Well, a lot of bands can be very committed when you think about it there.
Yeah.
They're committed to their audience to doing things right there. Like, for instance, I know that Guns N' Roses, I remember hearing that they get upset when you do not give a good performance. And that shows you how committed they are to their craft.
You couldn't get hold of YR?
No, he said he's unavailable at the moment there.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I do not know what the heck happened there. I mean, like, we're having a good discussion. We have most of the guys, Jacob, Steve, Keith, and YR himself there. I don't know I don't know if he was disgruntled or what happened with his end of the show there.
Well, that's one of the reasons I kind of stay away from drama if I can. I don't want to get involved in it and get all upset.
Yeah, it's true there, yeah. But then again, by the way, I need to talk about this. I'm sorry that whole bullshit went down on yesterday there. I know you left because I think it was like disgruntled if I was correct. Because you're like, it's supposed to be a music show, not about drama there.
Yeah, I was kind of like, I really don't want to do this. So I just kind of, there was no pause for me to just bow out gracefully. So I just said, all right, I'll have to go. Earl will understand.
Yeah, no, I did. I understood pretty well there. Now, I think YR, man, we were talking about the, let's see here. I know YR wanted to talk about the NBA playoffs tonight, He also wanted to talk about Mick Jagger canceling for COVID. And he also wanted to talk about the Joe Perry Project, which was the solo band that Joe Perry had for a couple of years after his departure from Aerosmith. I remember a few songs from the first record, Let the Music Do It to Talking. That was big all over the radio back in 1980.
Yeah.
Man, you know what? He released. I wanted to check out other songs on that album because there was this one called, Rocket Train or something like that. I'm gonna listen because I remember hearing that song played on the radio a couple of times, and I liked the groove of that one. So I figured it was might as well check that album out sometime on YouTube.
Yeah, and of course you come across something that's kind of like, hey, not bad. It's kind of like the songs I sent you. You'd never heard them before, I know.
Exactly. They're pretty good there, yeah.
I figured you'd really like the Sean Phillips songs.
Yeah, they're pretty good there. I would admit there. It's like the first time I heard anything from this guy, believe it or not.
Yeah, they weren't hits. But then again,
But they deserve recognition either way.
Right. I mean, let's look at what's hits.
Yeah, of course, that's how record labels are, Record labels, just want to keep everything, let's keep the hits and this and that, blah, 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 which...
Let's just keep shoving this stuff down their throat. Maybe they'll like it.
Yeah, down the throat of the people. Who cares if the people don't like or do not like it? Who cares about the minority and what kind of taste they want? The minority doesn't make up for the majority of the buyers that are out there, And that's what pees me off about record labels to these days. Which, by the way, I've noticed that we've been seeing so many more independent labels as of late, all over the place.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the other record labels out there that are still functioning, like Geffen or Warner's, they haven't really put out that much new stuff, but they're mostly concentrated on the old albums that came out years before. They've been releasing that as of late on vinyl. Like, for example, some of the stuff that were on MCA Records, primarily The Who and Leonard Skinner, had now been released on vinyl on Geffen Records, believe it or not.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, David Geffen, as you know, was the man behind Geffen Records. He's also the man behind Asylum Records, which had Jackson Browne, Linda Ronstadt, and the Eagles. But I guess right now, indie, mostly new record labels out there that are still at, whether it's Republic Records or Big Machine Records, which had Taylor Swift on their roster, Wind Up Records. That's the, I guess these record labels are now the prime factor right now in these days here when it comes to releasing music.
Yeah. Let's see, who else have I seen? Oh, right. Santana.
Oh, yeah. And this was, which Santana was it? Because there's so many incarnations of that group there.
Late 80s, 90s, somewhere in that range.
I see there.
I honestly don't remember, sure.
I think it may have been the period where they had that one singer. Because the only two main singers I remember from Santana was Greg Walker during the later 70s on the album Moonflower, Inner Secrets. There was also Greg Rowley, who would later lead the joint hook up with the band Journey.
Right.
And, of course, the Santana we've seen for the past couple of years, what I remember, was, of course, the all-star Santana, which they had every singer you could imagine sing on whichever song, whether it's Steven Tyler, Usher, or Everlast, or whoever. Bob Thomas.
Right.
So I'm thinking possibly it may have been the 80s, early 80s lineup when they had that song Hold On and I'm Winning, I'm Winning.
It might have been, I don't remember for sure.
Yeah, because I know that they had that album called Z-Bop, which is a big hit around 1981 there.
Yeah. And at a festival, spring festival of some sort.
All right.
I saw they had 3 bands that played all day. Well, one after the other. The first one was America. The second one was the Doobie Brothers. And the third one was Grand Funk Railroad.
All right. Nice. I remember one of the coolest festivals I ever saw was back in around 1986 in Pontiac, Michigan. It was some amphitheater. They had a whole bunch of bands, groups like Orange 9mm. They had Anthrax performing there. They had the band Clutch as a headliner. They had the Misfits without Glenn Danzig. Some guy named Michael Graves was their frontman at that time. And they were also trying to get one of the biggest mosh pits going during their set. I remember.
Oh, and right after 9/11, they had a benefit concert. They only did 2 of them, but I saw one of them in Dallas. And they had a bunch of bands.
Oh yeah.
I
remember there was a televised version, I guess, that aired at Madison Square Garden on the old CBS network there.
Yeah.
I know the Who was one of the performers who played there.
Not in the one I saw.
Oh yeah.
I think Blue Oyster Cult was a part of it. If they weren't, I've seen them. REO Speedwagon.
All right.
Funk Again.
All right.
Oh, let me remember who else. Oh shoot! I can't. Off the top of my head, I can't remember who else was there.
Yeah, man. Yeah, the only time I saw BOC was at the Stars and Stripes Festival in Mount Clemens, Michigan. There, I was had the day off there. I figured I'd go down there because I always have a good time at those kind of events. And Blue Oyster Cult was playing that afternoon. Yay! And Rudy Sarzo was their bass player with them at that time there.
Yeah, well, I like a lot of their material.
Oh, yeah, there. Of course, they did Burning for You, Godzilla, and, of course, Don't Fear the Reaper.
Possibly Cities on Flame.
Oh yeah, I think so. I don't remember they played that song or not there, but still, it's good to see BOC still out there kicking it, even though they're playing a lot more smaller venues.
Yeah, I was trying to remember. I think all the groups only played like 2 or 3 songs apiece.
Oh wow.
And Blue Oyster Cult did Godzilla with a giant Godzilla.
Oh
And
yeah.
Cities on Flame.
All right there. Now the Godzilla they had, was it a guy in a
Oh
costume
no,
or
it was an inflatable, huge one.
Oh, I see there. Ah,
I mean, it was almost life size. Well, Godzilla life size.
I see there. But it was a big ass, but I can imagine what you're talking about there when it comes to that.
Oh yeah, it was kind of like, whoa.
All right there. I'm trying to have fun with my computer there. Let's see here. Let's see. Blah blah blah. I'm trying to. I guess someone would trying to fix a Skype where I'm able to minimize here for some dumb reason, but it's not allowing me to.
Yeah, and I'm trying to remember because I've seen a ton of concerts and trying to remember what some of them were. I've seen Robin Trower 3 times.
Yeah, I remember you mentioned that there, and he's still alive and still kicking. By the way, there he's still doing shows at most clubs and venues there.
And I've seen Peter Frampton at least twice. One of the times was with Trower.
All right. I see.
Let's see who else.
Most of the bands I remember seeing afterwards, the midway ones that I mentioned, were at either the Ritz or Harpo's Concert Theater. I remember seeing the Bullet Boys, a band. I'm sure you probably heard of them. They did "Smooth Up to You," which was a big hit at the clubs, at the radios.
Yeah.
Plus, their excellent cover of "For the Love of Money," the old OJ song there,
Right.
which it did awesomely. And I remember the place was packed. I was like front row for that. And I remember they did. I remember seeing the band Asia when they played the Ritz, but it was just Jeff. But it was Jeff Dow. It was a whole bunch of new guys. Now later on, Steve Howe showed up to do some tunes with them, and it's just as well there.
Yeah, another course, band I would have liked to have seen was Genesis during the Gabriel era.
Yeah, that's what the people need. That's the Genesis I would say people need to check out today, other than the top 40 Genesis.
Yeah.
Which are on tour
Genesis,
right now.
The first Genesis album with Collins, A Trick of the Tail, actually was a lot like they were doing before, and then they changed.
Oh, wow. Yeah, of course they had to change because, I guess the record label probably got on their case there, probably, hey, we needed a big hit. I guess some labels will do that, You got to have it's good that you have a good, strong audience, but they want more.
Right. Play the crap we like.
Yeah, exactly. Even just the same old, Now, I know Phil Collins did in the past, he would do his solo tours without doing any Genesis tunes there, just his stuff there. And it would have been nice, as we all know, for the original Genesis to come back together and do a real reunion tour. But sadly, the problem is it would have to bring in someone to do the drums for Collins because he's unable to play. And that is completely sad. Now, for those who don't know, Collins had this spine issue there when they did this one reunion tour back in the early 2000s. And apparently what it was getting worse and worse. The fact he did this one album called Back Home, which I guess was a cover album, but he had to have one of the drumsticks taped to his hand at that one point while they was working on arrangements and everything else there. And now it's gotten to the point where he is like having trouble walking. He's got to get around on a wheelchair. He has to sit down on a little chair, and when he goes to sing, he did this where his comeback solo tour and with the Genesis reunion tour they're doing now.
Yeah, it's a shame because Phil Collins was one of the better drummers.
He was, exactly. He's one powerful drummer. He drummed with Eric Clapton. He drummed with a project called Brand X on many of their albums. He worked with singer Howard Jones. Remember the song, what's it called? Things Can Only Get Better, I think it was called there. I know that received a lot of radio airplay on the old MTV as well there.
Yeah.
He did a lot of great drumming on his solo hits as well there. He worked with Philip Bailey from Earth, Wind & Fire.
Right.
Remember the song Easy Lover from 1985?
Yeah, it was a fairly
Big
large hit.
It was hit, yeah. Massive big hit.
Oh, another one I saw. I saw the Guess Who and Joe Cocker.
Oh, yeah. And was this the original Guess Who?
It's pretty much the original.
Yeah, because I know the two main members I know from the Guess Who was Burton Cummings and Randy Bachman.
Right.
Yeah. No, there was one person I would like to check out in his prime that would have to be Billy Squire.
Yeah, I would have liked to see him.
Yeah, no, because he delivered some damn good fucking songs.
Oh, I've seen Sticks.
Yeah, nice. With or without Dennis DeYoung?
At that time, I think it was without.
Oh, yeah. So Lawrence Gowan was in his place there. And I think Tony from Revere popped in for a couple of seconds and left.
And I saw Leonard Skinner, of course, after the crash.
Yeah, this was the when Johnny Van Zant was taking his little brother's place there.
Yeah.
I'm going to try
it. Pretty good.
All right, there. I'm going to see if I can get Farmoff Ken on the call because I think if he's available. Let me message him first to see if he wants to come and hang out with us here.
Oh, another band I would have loved to have seen was Rush.
All right, there. I never got to see them either live, unfortunately. There. Right there. Let me message him in.
And of course, obviously the Beatles.
Oh yeah. I would love to check. It would have been nice to see the Beatles still do shows after 66, but at that time, it's kind of hard to have those. They would have a lot of tapes in the background while they were playing live with all the stuff they were doing in the studio there.
Oddly, I really didn't care whether or not I saw the Stones. I mean, I like them okay, but I never had a desire to see them.
I know I know back around 1981, every newspaper was making a deal about the Stones performing live. I remember the back page of one of the local newspapers had pictures from their shows at the Pontiac Silverdome there. I mean, they did the same thing for The Who, and they also did the same thing when Pink Floyd returned to the concert stage a couple years later, in '87 there. Yeah.
Well, the best DVD concert I believe I've ever seen was Pink Floyd Pulse.
I remember you spoke highly about that.
Oh, man, if you get a chance, you need to watch that thing.
All right there, yeah. I know Facebook shows the videos and clips from the Pink Floyd's Facebook page, and it always has performances of One of These Days and Sorrow and High Hopes included in their set of videos there.
Right.
My favorite, of course, my also favorite from there is the official videos in the black and white when the early 60s when they were doing Let There Be More Light or
See Emily Play.
Secrets. Yep, exactly. Or Arnold Lane.
Yeah.
back in, I guess, in 2007, they did a performance of that song at some sort of a theater. I guess it was a benefit theater. I think it was a Sid Barrett benefit. I think it was. I think it was some. I don't know if it's
Yeah, because
something
actually he
about
was in those early videos.
exactly. Yeah, somebody worth checking out there.
Yeah, those were some of the early videos that were pre-MTV.
Exactly, and I don't think they were called videos at that time. I think they were called, promotion clips or whatever it was, music clips. I'm not too sure what they were called at back in the day there.
Of course, we discussed the Beatles doing it.
Yeah, I know. They did that with Strawberry Fields Forever when
And
that
Penny Lane.
clip made its debut. Yeah, absolutely. I never saw the Penny Lane one there, but I did see this thing they did for the song Hey Bulldog, which was featured on the Yellow Submarine soundtrack.
Yeah. And of course, technically, the Monkees, everything they ever did was released as a video, even though it was part of the show.
Exactly. I remember it's kind of funny. There was 1986 when the Monkees made their big comeback thanks to that MTV All Day Pleasant Valley Sunday thing there where they played all the Monkees episodes there, back to front.
Right.
They decided, they released an album, their greatest hits, but better mixing. And one of the songs they remixed it was Daydream Believer, because in the original you couldn't hardly hear the drums.
Right.
So the new remix version featured a new drum mix, and they mixed that new mix with the original video of that song taken from the TV show.
Right. Which is a neat little video, actually.
It is, yeah. When you think about it, there. And I would also like to check out. You gotta check out this other song which features a synthesizer.
I guess Daily Nightly.
Yeah, absolutely. That was
I
a
read
album
somewhere
to listen to,
that was the first rock song that featured a Moog amplifier.
Now, no, that's what it's the album that was included on it. When that album got reissued, Rhino Records stated that this featured the track that featured the very first synthesizer.
Yeah, and if you saw the video, it looks like Mickey's playing it.
Yeah, but I think it was actually Peter Tork playing it there.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah,
and it's funny when you talk about the group. The two biggest true musicians in the group were Michael and Peter.
Yeah, I know.
The other two weren't, but actually Davey was supposed to be a pretty good drummer.
Yeah, and I guess Davey had a album of his own, and back in England there.
Yeah.
Tried to join in the Monkees there, so he was a singer in his own right. Mickey was mostly basically he wasn't really that much of a drummer as he portrayed in the series there, but he was mostly an actor and later became a director.
Right.
Yeah.
And as far as I know, he's the only one left.
Exactly. Which is sad when you think about it there, because all the others have passed on.
I think the biggest surprise is when I heard about Davey, because he was still relatively young, and it was just like, okay, Davey's gone. What?
Yeah. And then later, Peter Tork would die, and I guess in 2017, I think if I'm correct. And then not too long ago, last year, we lose Michael Nesmith.
Yeah.
A Houston native, by the way, there.
Yep. Yeah, he was known as Wool Hat.
I remember, because he wore that wool hat, as it was called back then.
Right.
And he was, in fact, that originally may have been his on-screen name when that show was getting into production there. All right, there. So I'm going to see if I can get I don't know if Ken.
Well, I was going to say we're pretty near the end anyway.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, there. Now, I do not know what happened with YR, SC Steve, Jacob RP, and Keith Barber. I know they just left the call there. So probably when we get done with the show here, And I'll definitely get a hold of those guys later on this evening to see what's going on and why they decided to what happened there. I know they said that YR ended his stream with for some reason there. I don't know what happened there.
Well, maybe they were ticked off at me, even though I didn't do anything.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how it could be ticked off at you.
Okay, what do we want to do Wednesday?
I got
some ideas.
Okay, there.
Tell me which one you like best.
Okay, there. Well, there's this one I did want to throw out there. The many record labels, famous record labels out there. Some of them even started by the bands themselves, like Rolling Stones Records, Apple, Threshold, Swan Songs. Yep. We got to definitely give those record labels mention there.
Yeah. Well, I had us discussing our. Let me find it. Our favorite Canadian songs.
All right. You know what? I wanted to do a show about Canadian rock with Dave Rose.
Yeah.
I wanted to get him on the call and probably message him later on this evening to see if he wanted to participate with us there, or possibly Nicky Nines.
And another subject I thought would be interesting is novelty songs.
Oh, yeah.
Not comedy. I mean, well, not comedy acts like, Bill Cosby and whatever, but novelty songs like Weird Al or whoever or whatever, and discuss some of those.
Or Kipadana.
Yeah, because there's a ton of them out there.
Because there was this one I remember called Wet Dream by Kipadana, and it was a big hit on the radio, back in local radio, back around 1981 and 82 there, if I remember.
Yeah, that could be our Dr. Demeno show.
I'm thinking so, yeah. And by the way, we got to give credit to Dr. Demento. Is he still around, by the way?
I don't know. I don't even know his real name.
I don't know. I just remember what he looked like, and his name is up. And we know where Al got his career started from this guy there back in the day.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, which one do you want to do? Well, let's find out what Dave wants to do, and whenever he can be here, we'll do the Canadian bit, and if he can't be here, we'll do the novelty bit.
Okay, that sounds like a good option there, definitely. Okay, there. So I guess this concludes our episode for today. It's just me and Ark hereafter. And like I said, I'm going to try and get a hold of YR and the boys there to see what the fuck happened there. What did they leave the call? Maybe something happened at the last minute there. We don't know. Well, we'll figure out. So next Wednesday, it will be novelty songs. That's if we're able to get Dave on to talk about Canadian rock bands and Canadian songs here there. Because there's a lot of them that do need to be, they need to be honored. There's a lot of Canadian bands out there that need a lot of respect.
Well, let's call it Canadian artist, because I can think of two. Right off the top of my head, I can think of two individuals. So let's call it artists.
Okay, there, definitely. All right, so that'll conclude our show for today. Thanks to everybody for watching. And like I said, hopefully we'll be able to YR. And
who'd we get?
Keith. We got Keith is back. Keith, what happened to you guys?
I don't know. YR left, and then SC left, and then it said, well, if YR and SC are leaving, then I'm leaving too.
Well, we would have liked if you stayed.
Yeah, we were talking about concerts we had seen. I know you saw a few shows. We would include you in the subject, dude.
Oh, okay. Sorry, my bad.
You're our friend, Keith. We wanted to include you.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm at somewhere fun right now.
Is somebody up where what? The park? You said?
No, fun.
No. I'm at this like big action park place. Right
I see. Oh, yeah.
Oh, it sounds like there's kids there.
You're at the back. Be careful.
Yo, people playing trampoline volleyball, and
Trampoline. Now, yeah, I see.
trampoline
Yeah.
basketball, and the lights are off, and
Kind of like a
it's the
Chuck E.
park